Everybody hear me back there? You know, if it wasn't for people just like you, I wouldn't be able to be here. I'm very much behind this movement. Show Me Cannabis is tried. Get people behind them. Normls working together. That's great. Because the only way we're going to get this done is to work together. There's still more people locked up back there. They need your help. Because nobody belongs in prison for a plant. And we're the people. We're the ones that's supposed to be able to take care of this. Government's supposed to work for us. Why are we being dictated by the government what to do? From what I can see, there's one reason. What do we have? 15, 20% of the people voting? A lot of people say, yeah, I'm going to vote, and they might even register. But to actually get your butts up and go out there and do it, how many people do it? That's a shame. Over in Iraq, they were threatened with death if they went and voted. But you noticed on the news, I'd seen it when I was in prison. Everybody was running around with that purple or that blue thumb, whatever it was. They went and did it. Here in America, we can do it, and we don't. That's a shame. It really is. That's why marijuana is illegal right now. And it shouldn't be. Medically, look what it's doing. We've got children that are falling out with seizures. Cannabis helps it. But our government says there's no medical reason to have cannabis. But I understand they have a patent for it. So why isn't one talking to the other? There's only one reason I can think of. It's because we, the people, are letting it happen. It's time that we stick together and work together as a unit. There's a lot of bickering going on between different clubs. Hey, you know what? We're all here for one purpose. What is it? It's to get things legal. It's so people can live. They can take a natural product, heal themselves, feel better, and not get thrown in jail. So, when's it going to happen? It could have happened years ago if we would have stuck together. But we didn't, because the bickering amongst different groups, everybody wants something different. Well, the end result is all the same. We need to get together. We need to work together and forget all these side projects and say, this is what we need to get done. Now, I know everyone in here either smokes, knows about somebody that smokes, or somebody in their family smokes maybe. And think about it. What happened to me could happen to them. It's really easy. Because I thought mine was all pretty minor stuff. Here I had a job going, 2 jobs. I had 40 people working for me, paying taxes. But it ended up that you all had to pay taxes to keep me in prison. It's at $57 a day for almost 21 3/4 years. That's ridiculous. And there's more people in there the same way. We got a lot of nonviolent people in prison that don't need to be in there. But the government's making money on it. That's why they don't want this illegal. Legal, because as long as they keep it illegal, they can fill up these county jails and hold people in there and make the taxpayer pay money to pay for these things. Sooner or later, this country's going to fall if it keeps going the way it is. There's just so much. What are we really getting? How much out of a dollar that you make can you actually spend? You're taxed when you make it. You're taxed when you spend it. You're taxed if you keep it in the bank. You're taxed if you sell something, you get taxed. Maybe a flat tax is the way to go. But it's kind of crazy the way it is now. And, it's not only the guy that gets locked up. The families get hurt. You get kids that get hurt. They end up dropping out of school. They end up going down the wrong road. A lot of them have to get checks from the government to live. Oh, that's more taxes, ain't it? How about our police department? They could be out chasing these guys that are shooting, driving around in cars shooting, but they're not. They're sitting around waiting for somebody to light up a joint. This is what a shame, I mean, I was in prison. I've seen people, let's just say baby rapers, all right? Real criminals that hurt people. They had outdates. They went home. A lot of them I've seen leave and come back 2 and 3 times for the same crimes. But yet I was sitting there for marijuana. If it wasn't for you all, I'd still be in there. But yet they go in and out like it's a revolving door. Our justice system needs some help, needs fixing. But people got to get behind it. They got to register to vote, and they have to vote. Like Dan was saying, they're all starting right now. They're all running for office. Well, you know what? It's our job now. What we got to do is get there and ask questions. What are you for? What do you plan on doing when you're in there? And we know a lot of politicians talk out of the side of their neck, okay? But if they do that, get them out of office. Because y'all got the power. And as soon as some of them start getting kicked out of office for not doing what they said they're going to do, maybe the rest of them get smart and straighten up. Because I don't know about you, but I'm tired of being told lies to. I've seen it for years and years. I'm 62 years old. A third of my life was in prison because I enjoy smoking a joint. Now, there's other people in there for the same way. I don't want it to happen to any of y'all. And the only way we can stop that is to get this thing straightened out. And what Dan was talking about, getting this in Columbia straightened out as far as growing, man, that's a great idea. We need the help. In fact, just sign me up. I'll be here this weekend. Because things like that is what we need to do, because the rest of Missouri is looking at Columbia right now. They're wanting to see what's going on. This is like a small experiment in Columbia, for the rest of the state. We got to spread the word, not just here in Columbia, but all around. How about hemp? How about the jobs that can be made? A lot of our small farmers are losing their farms. I understand they can put a third crop in with hemp. It should grow pretty easy. What can they do with it? Look at the industry Missouri could have. It's farms that could be saved. All the jobs. My God, what's wrong with our government? Oops, I forgot. We're letting them run it instead of us. Ain't that what it is? I think the people know what's supposed to have done. I mean, that's what our forefathers put our Constitution in place for. When are we going to exercise our rights before we lose them all? Because that's what's going on. I watch the news. You all do. We're losing them every day. And we're letting it happen. It's time to wake up. If not, we'll put a fence around Missouri. Make the whole state a prison, because that's where they're heading. I mean, when I was in order for them to let somebody out of a hole, they had to put somebody else in a hole. That's how tight the bed situation is in prisons. They're making money. They're not only making money on keeping it, but they're making money off the guys that are in it. They're having to pay taxes now on what little bit of money they make when they go to canteen. They have to pay taxes. The things they buy is marked up, some of it over 100%. For you people that have family in prisons, you're paying that because I know you help them. So is that another tax? Yeah, it could be, because somebody's making that money. Where's it going? Schools. Every time we have an election, what's the first thing they ask for? More money for the schools. Well, I thought we were supposed to pass all that gambling for the schools. Where'd that money going? They're making millions. Where's it going? Evidently, it's not going to schools because they keep coming back to you all. Hey, we need more money for schools. We need more money for schools. Children are our most precious resource we have. And we've got to make sure these schools are right. You know, we legalized this across the state like Colorado did, and our state would be out of the red. We'd be making enough money to get our schools properly done. How about our infrastructure? How many times y'all have to take a car in to get fixed because you had a hole in the road? Our bridges are falling down. That's all the things that can be fixed. Instead, they prefer the money going across the border to Mexico. Truckloads. It's a shame. I don't know what to say. And I really lost confidence in America. And I love this country. I served my time in the military. But when I was locked up for marijuana, life without, and I didn't know it was life without until later on in my time. I was first told I was sentenced to a life sentence. Then they also had a parole hearing I was supposed to go to. When I didn't get to parole hearing, I started asking questions why. Then I was told I had a life without. So, you know, that's what they do. But when you're sitting in there and you're seeing these guys that come in, some of them kill people and they get outdates. Stole, armed robbery, hurt people, rape, and they go back out the door. But yet you get guys in here that are like me, in there forever, or doing a lot of time for marijuana. We got to change this, people. And the only way to do it is not just come to these meetings here, but go to a lot of these events. Try to bring friends. Talk to other people. When it's time to go vote, go to your neighbor and say, hey, I'm going to vote. Come on, you want to ride? That's how we're going to get people to the polls. If I could put a bus in every city, I would. I just can't afford it. They took everything I had. But that's what it's going to take. And I see a good crowd here tonight. I'm really happy to be here with y'all. And you've got my deepest thanks, because if it wasn't for you all, people like you, the press, Mr. Dogan, House of Representatives, Dan, and of course, Tony back there, you know, it took everybody to get the word out. Social media, and together, we made a difference. But that just should show everybody one thing. The people sticking together can get something done. And that's what we need to do. Thank you.